And, God, where'd I go after that? I can't think of it. Oh, you might want to stop for a second. I got to think.
Go ahead. You take so much time.
Man, I can't remember. That's the downfall of COVID right there. It made thinking like walking through knee-deep mud is the best way I can describe it. 30% of my life is gone. It's scary, the things that I forgot. I mean, I went to jail one time in Detroit, and I don't remember it. I went and saw Trans-Siberian Orchestra. I've seen like 7 or 8 other bands. Don't remember any of it. Went places with my wife, went on vacations, don't remember them. It's crazy. So I got COVID, played a gig, I'm a drummer. 11 of us got it all together. I'm the only one, fortunately. Wound up in Blodgett Hospital for 38 days, 17 days in a coma, 20 days on a ventilator. When I walked into Greenville Hospital, I had 28% oxygen concentration. The old nurse with the clipboard turned white, dropped it, and looked at my wife and said, "Honey, he's dead." They chased her out the door. Within 10 minutes, the nurse called her and told her, "Well, I thought I would call so you could say your goodbyes to your husband. He's probably not gonna make it." I got out of Greenville. They put me in an ambulance. The ventilator, the part that stops your lungs from collapsing, quit working before we left Greenville. All the way to Grand Rapids, my lungs were collapsing. According to what they wrote down, I shouldn't have made it to Grand Rapids. Most people, like 90% of the people, don't remember or think, well, they're in a coma. I unfortunately was not part of the larger group. And in my coma, went right to hell for 3 days. I don't remember a whole lot of that, but I remember it felt like poop tastes, if I had to describe it. To say it was unpleasant would be to give it a compliment. I don't know how to describe it, but then again, a lot of this I don't really know how to describe. I remember being kind of mad. Mad's a really polite word for how I felt, because I just met my wife like 3 years before, and now I'm gonna die, and I could feel me dying in my coma. I don't know how to describe it, but I knew I was dying, so I fought really hard. I really, really, really wanted to live, and God let me live. I'm pretty happy about that. I could feel God's presence in my coma. My wife probably had 4,000 people praying for me, and I can remember in my coma feeling that love. Gotta thank God for my wife. I think it was harder on her than it was me. It kills me thinking about all the things that woman went through. Well, when I woke up, probably my favorite part was my first mouthful of ice chips. Never knew ice chips could be so good, but when you don't eat for like 31 days, I was awake for maybe a day. I couldn't talk, barely move. And Queen, We Are the Champions, came on. And the nurse goes, "Look, he's dancing. Isn't that cute?" She goes, "No, he's not. He's playing drums." But the other cool thing I think God did for me, I used to be kind of a news junkie. Well, I watched like 20 minutes of news and I shut it off. I'm like, I'm not gonna put that yuck in me no more. I said to the nurse that was standing there, "Man, I wish I could listen to some music. I got all kinds of music on my phone, but it's just horrible out of that little speaker." She looked at me and smiled and disappeared. And about 20 minutes later, she came back with a Bluetooth speaker. That meant more to me. Wow. So I turned on some Rush. Listened to Subdivisions. It was my first song. It made me pretty happy. You know, it's one thing to have somebody say, "Wow, you almost hit that tree," or "You almost this," or "You almost died." It's another thing to read in your chart where, yup, you had a 1% chance. 1%. He said, "I'm not exaggerating. It's in your charts. We all talked about it. We were going to give your organs away, and you get to leave." thank you, God, because I think He's what gave me the strength to not fold or give up. Because there was times I know I could feel in my coma where I'm like, I'm so sick of this, I just want to go. But then I thought of my wife and my life, and I'm like, there's more to do. I lived through it. God brought me through it. However He did it, whyever He did it, is reason enough for me. I don't know what God saved me for. But whatever it is, the answer is yes. That's why I'm here doing this and playing drums here in this church and trying to serve God. Life really is beautiful. And it really is what you make of it. So I want to make it as good as I can. Because God's given me this chance. He saved me for a reason. And I really don't know what it is, and I really don't care. I just want to do it. So at 3 in the morning when you're stuck in the ditch, my phone will be on. Call me, I'll come get you. I'll bring you some coffee and a hamburger or something. I won't tell you no. I promise. He didn't tell me no. My name is Jeff Hendrickson, and this is my story.